been a while since I've done a vlog. Been inundated with messages. My mum said, I haven't seen you on the YouTube for a while, so do a vlog. Here we are. So what's new since the last vlog? I've moved house, so kind of in the countryside now, which is quite nice. Hopefully the donkeys and the horse next door will be out shortly, and then you get to meet them because they're super cute. Training wise, I haven't been able to compete in powerlifting. An old injury has been flaring up. However, running and cycling has been okay, and because I'm not very good at just sitting down and doing nothing, I've signed up for a duathlon, which is kind of like way outside my comfort zone, like way out there. That is in November, and it'll be a 5k run, 28k bike, and a 5k run. The distances aren't too long, but it is in Avon Valley, so it will be mountain run, mountain bike, mountain run. The course currently doesn't load on their website, so I have no idea of the elevation, so I'm looking forward to that being a surprise. But I am in a good location to train for it, so swings and roundabouts, eh? For today's topic, I went onto Instagram, you know, the ask me a question thing. Thought that'd be a good way of getting a topic for today. So one of the ones that I thought I would delve into is, obviously it can be quite a broad question to try to answer. Stress coming from stress being over the short term or over the longer term, so acute or chronic stress, and depending on which of those scenarios that work or life is sort of throwing at you at that time would depend on the answer. Let's start with acute. If you have an acute stressor, so let's say that you'd had an argument with your boss just sometime during the day, and you were due to train that evening, and you knew that this argument was going to cause problems for the rest of that day, and that stress was just mounting, and it was getting worse, and you knew that evening you were due to go and train. How would you manage that? What would you do? I think with acute stress like that, a lot of it is largely down to the individual. For me, I don't train very well when I'm stressed. I find that when I'm in a happy place, I will train a lot better. So in that case, if that was me and I had something in the morning and I knew that it was going to stress me out during the day and I was due to train in the evening, well, I would probably leave that session and I would try to fix whatever it was that was causing me that stress or that anxiety, so that I could then train better the following day or maybe 2 days later. That said, I have had a lot of clients over the years who they train to de-stress, and so for them, coming in to train in the evening, even though they've had a very stressful day, they want to come and train to kind of let go of a lot of the day's stresses and the day's worries. And so that's very good in that that's their way of dealing with it and their way of overcoming it. But then it can have a negative impact on the lifts. And so on that individual day, that's where using RPE, so your rate of perceived exertion, that's where that will come into play. So I'm just home from work and I think the donkeys are out. Come on. Well, the horses come in, but the donkeys are not. momentary interruption. Okay, let me just finish this. Thank you. So, alright, in a minute. I'll go this way a bit. Okay, so like, he is not gonna go, so I'm gonna have to give him this one. Ah, well now they arrive. Now I've run out of carrots. Sorry. So we left off with RPE and how if you are particularly stressed, you may want to revert to using RPE for that particular session. So the RPE scale, you may have seen it go from a scale of 1 to 10. So we're only ever really going to use the RPE between 6 and 10. And a simple way of thinking about it, if you're trying to work to an RPE 7, then take 7 away from 10 and you're left with 3. That's how many reps you want to have left in the tank when you finish your set. Now, the other type of stressor, the chronic, that one will be a little harder to deal with. So, if you are going through something right now that is maybe going to be stressful for an extended period, even if it's something good. So, for example, like moving house. I had no idea how stressful it was going to be buying a house and moving into a new house. I thought this is going to be really exciting. This is going to be great, and it was, and it is good. But that doesn't mean that it's not stressful, and that certainly had an impact on my training. So, what I had to do, and what I would advise you to do, is to reduce your overall load and total volume for that week. So, let's say within the whole week you train 4 times and you do 70 sets over those 4 sessions. An easy thing to do would be just drop 10 to 15%. So maybe bring that down to 63 or 60 sets during that week. Do you then feel recovered at the end of that? If yes, then okay, you found your recovery point. If you don't feel recovered, and by recovered I mean that you're able to do the prescribed weights, that you look forward to the next session. If you don't feel that way, drop it down a little bit more. Maybe drop it down another 5 to 10%. So your 70 has gone to 60. Still don't feel recovered? Okay, bring it down to 55. You bring it down to 55 sets. And you just go down week by week, just slowly bring that down until you get to a point where you feel, okay, now I feel recovered. Okay, well then you just cruise at that point for a while until that stressor goes, until you deal with it. I don't want to talk outside of my area of expertise, so if it is something that's particularly stressful, then maybe you need to seek advice in a different area to be able to deal with that stress. But most of the time it's something that, you know, we can kind of work around. And now it's 5 o'clock, so I've probably got an hour's ride on the bike tonight, getting ready for the duathlon. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and if you have any questions, please send them in. As you can tell, I like rambling on, and if there's something that you want answered, shoot it across and I'll do my best to answer it.